It's 2018. Get over it. I've heard that phrase so many times, it's become some kind of joke. At this point, it must be an inside joke with the entire world. But why do we still need to use it? What does it even mean? Well, simply it means that people haven't gotten over it. Be it showing up in the forms of prejudice and judgment towards anyone who doesn't fit the norm of society. When I hear harsh words from a past lifetime used today without any thought of what they mean to the current generation, something in me snaps. My heart is pulled through my chest and squeezed like putty, then crumpled like a discarded love letter, and then stepped on for good measure. It disheartens me to realize that nothing has changed. Parents still raise their kids my age, to believe that respect is subjective. I have heard the R word, the N word, the F word, and other words that start with a letter of the alphabet used in casual conversation, especially in the halls of this school. There's no problem with being a human being. There's no problem with anyone who doesn't follow societal expectation. There's a problem with the fundamental ideals and predisposition that makes people think it's okay to hate other humans. No one deserves to be hated just because they were born to live a certain life. People are ashamed to live their lives because who they are is wrong in the eyes of so many. People are ashamed to be Muslim, to admit that they are gay, or ashamed of asking for help in dealing with depression, or ashamed of identifying with a gender they weren't assigned at birth. People like them, people like you and I, don't deserve to live in a world where judgment runs rampant. Part of the problem is that people don't like to admit that they're wrong. I'll bet some of you are thinking about how everything I've said so far is stupid and how you'll go home and ignore the message. I get it. I hate being wrong too. But there comes a point where you have to suck it up and ask yourself why changing your mind is such a bad thing. In reality, it's not. People do it all the time. It's like deciding to make pasta, then realizing you can't cook and ordering a pizza instead. It's not hard, but people are stubborn. It's hard to make someone who's been raised to think a certain way suddenly alter their mindset. But it's not impossible. I think people forget they have a voice. I know I have. Up until a year or so ago, I was the kid who sat in the corner of the room wallowing in her own thoughts and not speaking up about things that she's passionate about. Obviously, something changed. I stopped worrying about what people were thinking of me, and I finally gathered up the courage to speak my mind. I have known so many people in the same situation as me, and I've known even more with endless ideas to share, too scared to share them in a bolder way. All around the world, people have tried to speak out but are smothered by the sheer amount of prejudice towards them. This world lacks change. The problem with predisposition is that people are unwilling to change. People are too complacent with what they've been taught. They refuse to listen to anyone who is fighting for a better world. The problem is that the voices being used aren't being heard. And sure, it seems like we live in a better world in 2018 than we did in 1848 or 1954, but we still have a long way to go. Change starts with ourselves. It's not easy by any means, and sometimes we need a push to guide us on the right path. Maybe it's a family member that comes out to you, or your friend that actively fights for immigrant rights. Maybe it's me, reminding you right now that everyone is human. We all have that in common. And no, changing your mind doesn't mean you have to be someone that runs around preaching your take on the world. But it does mean we should all walk through life with a sense of how much we can impact people. Respect is universal, not individual. In the end, we're all human. We're capable of anything, and it's time we put an end to intolerance.